In conclusion, you have violence. So it's roughness, cruelty, force, crossing of boundaries. Physical, as in punching, kicking, biting, anything that causes a bruise. Psychological, like gaslighting, emotional abuse. Neglect can be something like just not paying attention to your partner's needs, or not feeding them, or the intent is basically to hurt the person or to damage the person, and in some very extreme cases to kill the person. I had mentioned in the health personality section that proactive versus reactive. And so the thing with toxic people is the idea is to provoke, the idea is to push buttons, to create drama, to hurt the other person, to make the other person almost feel out of control of themselves. Proactive means getting rid of the problems before they have the chance to appear. The problem with people who are toxic is that problems can come in small form, medium and large. So something where you can predict the problem from happening is something where you're not paying bills. Okay, you know that you can have a problem in the long term if you're not paying your bills. Okay, you can have a problem in the long term if you constantly eat McDonald's. So you would avoid it by eating healthy, right? But when it comes down to people plotting to create drama, you can't always prepare for that. Reactive, responding to events after they've happened. Sometimes you're in the situation and you realize, ooh, this situation is out of control and it's hurtful. So there is a difference between proactive and reactive. In my opinion, when you're dealing with people who are plotting and planning to create drama, you can't actually be proactive. It's a case of in the moment you have to choose to be self-controlled, and you have to choose to be practical and kind and calm. But with things that you can control, you can be proactive. With people who want to do damage and who want to hurt, reactive, as in reacting in the moment, can be calm and self-controlled. But sometimes you really have to work at that and breathe, and even if the person sees that they're bothering you, not saying something or doing something in return that could hurt them. So what I understand is that you cannot control people, and I don't think wanting to control people is healthy. I think the idea is to be self-controlled and to laugh at yourself and to laugh at your mistakes, to have goals, to focus yourself on what you want from life, and to make a choice to be a blessing. One of my friends who lives in South Africa, she said to me, life can be difficult. So if you can make a choice to be a blessing to people, rather be a blessing. Even in the way you respond to difficult situations coming your way. Choose to be a blessing. Choose people and situations that bring out the positive and the happy and the joy. People who are draining your energy, people who are making life difficult for you or challenging for you, make a choice on how much influence they will have in your life. So if it's a boss and you can change jobs and if it's a boss and you cannot change jobs, you would need to change how you react and how much you let them influence your life. So my next topic is going to be borderline personality disorder, because I'm going to cover a whole lot of different disorders or personality disorders. Okay, and so this is a very serious topic. And so what I might do is I might just remind us every now and then what healthy personality looks like. But essentially, a toxic person or a broken personality, you need to have at least 5 or 6 of the 9 traits. And on the other side of it, if you predict, or not predict, if you feel like something's not right and you've done some research, I do think do some research on it, because this is why it's there. Don't diagnose, but do research. The same way that you would check to see, I think this is what's wrong with my body, I think that's what's wrong with my body, and then you go to the doctor and say, these are the symptoms that I'm seeing, this is what I've read, and they can lead you from there. You would do that with physical, you would do that with the school that you're in. Do research and then take yourself to a professional and tell them what you've read and what you see and what you sense, and then let them make a choice further. But don't be naive and assume that you are reading too much into things, because you might not be reading too much into things. Alright, so this is probably going to go up either today or tomorrow. But I know I did warn that the series is long, because there's a lot of topics that fall under this, and it's also on a spectrum. Toxicity is on a spectrum, and a lot of the time a person who's toxic doesn't necessarily know that there's brokenness and that it needs to be fixed, and some people just like having the power over other people. I will be releasing borderline personality disorder later on this week.